Hey, what's going on, guys? Rodrigo here from Unleash Your Fitness, and in this video I am going to be talking about protein powders. All right, protein powders. Um just basically, gonna let you know what to choose, where to get it from. And if you already have protein powders, is your protein powder shitty? Because obviously you want to get some good protein powder. You don't want to get, there's different companies, different brands. Not all of them are the same. Some, they just want to make money from you. That's it. There's no need to get, certain protein powders, right? So first of all, let's start with, what is protein, right? What is so basically protein, you can go on Google, right? I actually got this from Google, yes, because there's protein is like, it's one of the building blocks, right, for your body, and it does so many things, right? But here's a little breakdown from it. So protein is one of a complex group of molecules that do all kinds of jobs in your body. They make up your hair, nails, bones, and muscles. Protein gives you tissues, gives tissues and organs their shape, and also helps them work the way they should. In short, protein is one of the building blocks that make you into who you are, right? So in other words, for example, like the whole part about shaping your organs and tissue, right? Giving them their shape. And this is mostly for the tissue, right? If you want bigger biceps, for example, right? You go, work out on your biceps, get a good ass workout. After the workout, you take a protein shake, whatever. Later on, it starts this thing called protein synthesis. Usually during that time, your muscles, are trying to, are recovering, and at the same time they are growing, right? And if you fuel them with enough protein, they're gonna grow. If you don't, they might not grow. And the muscles it's a type of tissue, right? So this is where the whole shaping your tissue comes in. The bigger your biceps get, obviously, they shape up. Or if you just want to tone them up, right? Same thing. You want to tone them up, you got to fuel that muscle so it can tone up however you want to, you want it to tone up. Anyways, moving on, right? There are two types of protein, right? You got the isolate and the casein, right? What's the difference? So the iso, right? The iso breaks down in your body faster. Like it's kind of like carbs in a way. You drink the protein shake, the iso, it's already broken down. So once you take it into the body, automatically goes into the muscles that wherever you need it at, wherever that protein is needed, automatically goes in there and gives, fuels your muscles, gets you ready for the next round, etc., etc. It helps with recovery right away. The casein, it's a slow digesting. So basically, once you drink it, it might be 2 to 3 hours before you feel the effects from it, or it starts to digest. And by effects I mean like, is depending on how you react to casein, either your stomach might hurt, either you might gotta go take a shit, whatever. You might even get diarrhea from it. You never know, right? With the iso, it's immediately, right? The way your body reacts to it, or it's gonna react to it, you're gonna feel it immediately, right? Now, which one is better, the iso or the casein? I personally would say the iso. And like, for example, the casein is mostly recommended like for whenever you go to sleep. If you're in a caloric deficit, meaning you're trying to lose weight, body fat, whatever, you're obviously gonna feel hungry at night. That's where the casein, comes in. It's slow digesting, so you feel full. You can sleep good without feeling hungry. However, the thing about it is, if your body doesn't react good to it, you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night having to go take a shit. So I don't know if you want that. I really don't know if you want that, right? So if you want to try the casein, go for it. I would say iso is all you need. You just make a shake, add a little bit of healthy fats in there, maybe a little bit of peanut butter, make it taste better. The peanut butter is fat, so they kind of break down a little bit slower, keeps you full longer, right? If you want to do that at night. But anyways, that's just my opinion. You can try either one. So now let's get into the good stuff, right? How do you choose your powders? Since I like the iso one, well, it's the same thing for both, either iso or casein, right? But here's the thing: a good protein powder, right? whether it's ISO or casein, you want at least 25 grams of protein per serving, right? At least 25 grams of protein per serving. Next thing you want to look at in the label, right? It's the calories. Now, you got your 25 grams of protein. Perfect. That's a good protein so far. Next up, look at the calories. Now, it's for every 4 grams of protein, there's for every gram of for every gram of protein, there's 4 calories. So ideally, ideally you want only 100 calories per serving on your protein powder, right? Here's the thing: if it's 100 calories, 25 grams of protein, that's a perfect protein powder. The thing about it is, it's gonna taste like shit. So I'm not gonna bullshit with you. Unless it's a good brand that somehow they magically made it taste good, your protein powder is gonna taste like shit. Now, depending on what you add to it, you might add almond milk to it. It's gonna make it taste better, right? It's gonna be an additional 30 calories, but it's gonna taste better. So it's gonna be 130 calories overall for a nice shake that has a good 25 grams of protein in there. Perfect. Now, one of my favorite ones is the ISO 100. It's 110 calories, 25 grams of protein, 0.5 grams of fat, and 0 carbs, 0 sugar. That 0.5 grams of fat brings it up to the 110 calories, but that 0.5 makes a big difference in the taste. It makes it taste way better overall. So even though it's not at 100, it's only 100. It's 10 more calories for the fats, right? It tastes great. It tastes great. I love the chocolate one, and I'm currently drinking the iced coffee one, right? Which is a big plus. I like it. 110 calories. Now, there's other protein powders that might have the 25 grams of protein. Let's use muscle milk for example, right? The old muscle milk, not the Pro Series. The Pro Series is actually alright. The older muscle milk, when it first came out, 25 grams of protein. However, overall per serving, it had like around 250 calories, I believe. First of all, it had like 10 grams of fat, and carbs were like 32 grams of carbs, somewhere in there, and I believe it had like a gram of sugar, or maybe 2 grams of sugar. That's a shitty protein powder. All right, so just make sure you look at the full label whenever you get your protein powder. And this isn't just for like the protein powders. It's for like protein snacks, right? If it's a protein snack, it has to be strictly protein, right? If it has high fat, high carbs, like I see like a lot of shit out here, right? It's no longer a protein shake or a protein powder unless you physically add it on there as a plus, right? It's because you want something. Don't waste your money on supplements like protein powders or protein snacks that say they call themselves protein supplements or whatever, and they have 10 plus grams of fat, 30 plus grams of carbs, or 20 plus grams of carbs, right? All that's gonna do is add more calories to it. Yes, it might taste good, but what's the point? What's the point of getting something that I thought the whole point was getting protein, right? So anything that has 10 plus grams of fat, 20 plus grams of carbs, it's no longer a protein powder, right? Just keep that in mind. And the calories are probably going to be 250 plus, right? It can be all the way up to 500 calories, especially like on the mass gainer. I believe it's like 600 calories for like a fucking shake, really. But anyways, let's break some myths, right? Let's break some myths that I have had clients tell me, or I heard this overall, right? Protein makes you fat. Protein does not make you fat. First of all, well, actually, I'm sorry. Let me rewind that. I'm sorry. Yes, protein can make you fat. Carbs can also make you fat. Fats can also make you fat, right? You get fat by eating more than what you're burning, basically being in a caloric surplus. So you want to get your protein in, right? You want to get your protein in. Once again, protein does not make you fat. Overeating on anything, whether it's protein, carbs, fats, that's what's going to make you fat, right? That's why I'm like, make sure you know what's your maintenance, what's the surplus, what's the deficit, right? If you need help, feel free to message me. Kidney stones, right? A lot of people say eating a lot of protein can make you have kidney stones. And here's the thing about that: you got to know where that comes from. You got to know where exactly that comes from, because all this stuff that's out there, it doesn't matter how much of it is out there, it's never right. Why? Because they usually pick and choose from which category. Like, for example, they might have 10 people that were on an all protein diet, high protein diet, right? These people were on a low protein diet. Let's say these people got kidney stones, these people didn't. Here's what they didn't tell you: this 10 people over here that were like a low protein were regular people just doing regular stuff, regular workouts, whatever. This 10 people over here were bodybuilders, that were, for one, on steroids, taking a shit ton of supplements, just abusing their body with drugs, illegal fat burners. All that shit fucks up your kidneys. So if you're gonna say that just because they were in an all protein diet, high protein diet, the protein fucked their kidney stones up, that's not true. For one, they were abusing drugs, fat burners that are illegal. All that shit is gonna fuck up your kidney stones. So they really peek of where they want to get their information from. But I'm letting you know right now that if you do a high protein diet, unless you already have kidney problems, it's not going to give you kidney stones or any kidney issues, right? But I mean, if you want to talk to your doctor, get the best advice from him or her, whatever. If it's a him, her circle, nowadays we can't even say him or her. Getting bulky for females. For some reason, some females think that if you eat a lot of protein, you're gonna get big and bulky. That's not the case. First of all, you gotta work for it. Second of all, females don't really get that bulky unless they're taking some supplements like steroids, stuff like that, for like the real bulky ones. Some, yeah, maybe they're natural and they get bulky, but they gotta want it. They gotta work hard for it, right? So no, you're not. Females don't get bulky from protein overall. But first of all, protein does not make you bulky at all. If you are not working out to get bulky, you're not gonna get bulky from protein. Meal replacements, right? So for example, this isn't a myth or whatever, because it could be a meal replacement, but it's a supplement. It's supposed to help you supplement your diet already. So people that do meal replacements, just know that if it helps you, fine. However, the thing is that's actually one of the problems of why you don't want to eat, because you substitute the whole foods for the shakes, and the shakes, they're already broken down. Your body doesn't have to do any work to it. So it's like saying somebody in a wheelchair that's able to walk again, but they had to put in a little bit of work to be able to walk, right? If you are not making them work, they're never gonna walk. They're gonna stay in that wheelchair. But if you force them to walk, if you give them something, some motivation, whatever, to start walking again, they're eventually gonna start walking. Same thing with your metabolism. Right now it might be broken down, but you only drinking supplements or drinking, protein shakes, whatever, anything that's like shakes, is basically you telling your metabolism, don't worry, you can stay on that wheelchair. You ain't gotta restart, whatever. However, if you put in whole foods slowly, keep introducing them, try different foods, especially high protein. This is where the protein, not the powder, but like high protein foods, right, help a lot with the metabolism. They're gonna restart your metabolism, and slowly but surely your metabolism is gonna start going back up. You're gonna start feeling hungry again, which is always good. If you undereat, right? And you're gonna start losing body fat faster, and you're gonna gain lean body mass faster. But you gotta eat whole foods. So stop trying to supplement, or trying to, instead of eating a whole meal, eat like a protein powder. Like it doesn't really do you any good, right? That's all for today. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Feel free to message me if you need any personal training or online coaching. All right.